It is all my pleasure to welcome you all people and Dr.
Yesterday I
Mahadik.
couldn't make it actually.
No problem. I can understand you people are principal leading position. Dr. Nivedita Markikar is also has just now started from her school back to home. She is our co-director of training and she is still in the car but joining the webinar. That is more important, no?
Yeah. It is
And
every
wise,
day a learning process.
this is a learning process which is lifelong. That is
Yes.
very much right, ma'am. Dr. Jacqueline Mahadik is also there. Then Manasvi ji is also there. Divya TM, she is also there. So probably I believe so that there will be a good amount of attendees. Out of 32, there should be 33, including me. Manda Jyoti, may I request you people to just open up your video so that we can communicate with each other comfortably looking at other face. And we start exactly within 2 minutes. We will not be waiting for.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, Mandaji. How are you?
Fine, sir.
So you are joining us from mobile or laptop?
Sir, I'm joining from mobile, sir, not laptop.
No problem. One of the recordings, all the certificates and your supporting material for Boom's taxonomy, they are all ready in the mail. Today's session will be converted by 8:30. It will be converted, and that is the time I am sitting in front of televisions watching a serial, Katha. And then after that, I will have a nice sleep at 9:30. So if you want to communicate with me in the morning time, you can communicate anytime after 3 a.m. because I leave the bed at 2:30. I have a small nap of 15 minutes, half an hour in the afternoon after lunch. So that goes like that. And then Mrs. Shahin is also there. So Clarence, sir, you are working as a principal.
Yes, I'm working as a principal in Agra.
Agra, oh, that's great. You are just my
and I'm
neighbor.
also okay, great.
I
You're
am
in
sitting at
Madras.
Ghaziabad.
Ghaziabad. Okay, nice.
Which school you are in? Ghaziabad?
Right now, I'm starting a school that is Arya Vedant Public School. Earlier, I was in Dr. MPS World School for around 7 years. Dr.
Okay.
MPS World School.
Okay, okay. So that is a great experience, rather.
Yeah.
You see, gentlemen and ladies, now it is exactly 6 o'clock. So shall I start, Vijay Lakshmi ji? If she says yes, I will start. Shahin ji also is smiling. Everybody is cheerful this
If
evening.
she says no, then?
If
she
he
says
says
no, then?
still I will continue because I will say I haven't heard you. जो शैतान बच्चे होते हैं, those naughty children, they do like that only, no? They keep on doing their own task, whether you stop them or not. And later on they complain, I couldn't hear you.
I'm one of them.
No, I will be one of them if she says no. All right, we start now sharing. Today is the second part of the webinar, and this one is about rubrics. You know these rubrics. Can you see my screen? Just unmute yourself and say yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We can see that you're sharing the screen.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we can see it.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, sir. Thank you
It's
very
clear.
much.
Sir, but we can have a full screen, sir.
Tell me how it is to be done. If I press that one, then certainly it will be a problem for me.
I'll just help you, sir.
I don't know now.
Here is Bharti Bhaskar. I'll just help you, sir, by a Bharti Bhaskar. It's a PowerPoint presentation, right, sir?
No, I couldn't hear.
No, it's a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, this is PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, just go to the slideshow.
Slideshow.
Yeah. Click on that. You get an option from
There
the
is a
beginning.
big
Correct.
option midway. This is
Yeah,
saying
there you
normal.
have to go to the
Acha, slideshow.
slideshow.
All
Yeah,
right.
slideshow. Just click on that.
I have clicked it twice.
You get an option. Yeah, in that icon, you'll be getting
Now you can see.
One second.
Now you can see
Yes,
my.
yes, it's going to come. It's
It's
going to
going to
come.
come.
Right. Yeah.
Wait for a 2 minutes. It is going to come now.
And
Yeah,
I
it
hope
will
so.
come.
And I hope so. This will not be disturbed now.
No, 1 minute. So just wait a minute. Sir, are you working through laptop only, right, sir?
Yeah, like laptop.
Oh.
So this is fine, no?
Yeah, but
It's not visible, sir.
This is
It's
what
not
I was
visible.
saying. I will keep it
Okay,
like
just
this only.
escape, sir.
Go back to the,
Escape,
yeah,
escape.
go back. Yes, yes.
Escape.
This is better.
1 minute, sir. I just one second, sir. So your slideshow, see, sir, next to the animation.
Ma'am, this will be wasting time. I will get a tutorial from you.
Okay, sir. No. If we want to see it bigger, sir, we can zoom and see, sir. You can just tell the viewer.
Bharti ma'am, you're mute.
Okay, sir, I'll mute, sir. Thank you. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you, but let me start now. The first one
Okay,
is,
sir. Okay, sir.
you see what will be the components of this rubrics for home assessment. I'll be taking all of them one by one. The first one is, what is rubric? You see, gentlemen and ladies, I don't know whether recording is taking place. So now this is a scoring tool, and this lays out the specific expectations or criteria that is to be used for the purpose of evaluation of a particular child or a group of children or whole class, not as a whole, but individual working on the whole class. And you see, these clear expectations are, say, for example, write 5 lines or essay, 5-line essay on your school. What you will be checking out there is, first you have to find out what are your expectations. The spelling must be clear, the sentence making must be clear, comprehension that is should be clear, the usage of punctuations must be clear, they should not be overwriting, and so on and so forth. You can decide upon your own. You can decide on your own exactly what is to be required. Now, the second thing is, this is a scoring guide. And certainly when this is a scoring guide, so you can understand that it is used on a basic structure of what your expectation is. And this can help the children also, the students also, to understand what exactly is going to happen during a particular performance. Say, for example, recitation. Once we are evaluating the kids on recitation, then what will be deciding, on what criteria will be deciding? First is sentence or the paraphrase. Then their pronunciation, rhyming, then tone, and then gestures, whatsoever they use for presentation of that. Can you see me now in your screens?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now this is an assessment tool for the teachers, whereas this gives an insight to the students also as to on what particular criteria we are going to be evaluated. They can concentrate upon them. Say, for example, tomorrow we are going to have a poem recitation, observation, or test. oral test. You give them first, and then they go back home with that particular criteria, practice the poem back at home, and then come prepared so that they are well prepared exactly what is required of them during the presentation. That is self-assessment. After the assessment, you can hand over this thing to them, writing the comments. I will give you all the format also in the last. What are basically the components are? First is criteria. That means evidence or what exactly characteristics of the performance that you will be observing. Just now I have given you the example of the storytelling and poem recitation. Now, level of performance means you have fixed a particular level of performance. When a particular child presents her this presentation, the poem or the story, what you expect is the expected criteria. Now, whether they exceed that criteria, they met that criteria, they fall short of that criteria, that is to be decided by you. And then descriptives, that is descriptives. Descriptors are those which are explanations, particular explanations, which are linked to the criteria and the level of performance. So first, criteria, second, level of performance, and the third one is descriptors, which link both of them, criteria and the level of performance. That means characteristics associated with each dimension, with each of the criteria whatsoever you have put. You see, there are two types of, I will give you example of each and everything. You do not hurry and worry. Be patient and listen carefully. There are two types of rubrics. First are analytical, and the second one are holistic. Now, analytic rubrics. What are the analytic rubrics? Are analysis means breaking down. Total performance is broken down into different components. Each component is then tested, observed, and the teacher marks her expectation is met. The person exceeded the expectation. The person fall short of that expectation, which means analytic rubric can give you insights or feedback on several different dimensions of the assignment. That is, along with this specific level of performance. What are the advantages of analytic rubrics is that it provides useful feedback on the areas of strength as well as weakness. The child can know by herself or himself what is my strength. Say, for example, my intonation, my voice is audible to whole of the class. This is my strong point. So I can maintain that level or slightly improve on that. But then I must also know, the advantage is that I must also know what are my weaknesses. Pronunciation is my weakness. So I will emphasize more on pronunciation now. Next time for the next performance, and during this first performance, today's evaluation, and the next performance, let us say there is a gap of 15 days. The teacher will give this feedback to the student. You now concentrate on pronunciation. So, and practice with them every time how this word is pronounced, how this word should be spoken, and so on and so forth. And then criteria can be weighed against to reflect what exactly is the relative importance of each dimension. But the disadvantage is also there. This analytic rubric, because it will be having a number of components, it takes a little bit more time to develop and apply. And the second one, the raters may not arrive. If there are two or more than two evaluators on the same criteria, same rubric sheet, analysis sheet, you give to two raters, they may not arrive at the same score. You see, each and everything, the assessment, each and everything is attached or associated with mathematical numbers. So we should keep those numbers minimized, 3, 4, or 5. If you put up, just like in the some of the surveys you might have observed, you might have got that scale 1 to 10. How you liked our app? Rate the app now. Rate the audibility of our WhatsApp call. Always put, there are 5 stars. So I always put 4, which means to give them an indication there is still scope of improvement. But if this is done for the purpose of rating and or evaluating a student for the class test, which is to be included for the final promotion, then they may differ and it may create hassles for the teachers. So that's why keep this criteria or scale to the minimal. 3, below average, that is expectation, then expected, and then more than expected. So 1, 2, 3, that's all. If you write 1, then you have to explain in the analytic rubric, you have to explain what exactly is missing so that the child can concentrate on that. If he exceeds that, still you have to mention so that you maintain that level. You don't fall down to the expected level. Keep performing more than expectation. Holistic cube is multiple criteria are there, but the assessment is done as a whole. Although this is a little bit confusing, because when you go for holistic, one disadvantage is that it is difficult to select the best descriptor. When you see that a number of components, are, let us say 5 components are there. If you want book selection committee, create a book rubric for book selection committee, and the same is given to all the books. Let us say science books are to be chosen from different publishers. Give them a rubric maintained on 5 criteria. Number 1 is language. Number 2 is spelling. Number 3 is illustration. Number 4 is back exercise. Number 5 are worksheet. Write them and then now decide on 3 criteria or 5 criteria. Give them all, and then you see when it is assessed as a whole, how you like Ajay Sharma as a person. Some might like my voice, some might not like my face. It is dark, wheatish, brownish, my hairstyle, receding hairline, and so on and so forth. He keeps too many gestures. He moves his hand too much. Any criteria can be there to decide. But when you ask just chalte phirte at random, how is Mr. Sharma? So what image you have developed on the basis of 1 or 2 criteria, you assess as a whole. You might not have observed all the things. You might have liked 1 or 2 things. Fine. He gives good examples during the presentation. That is good enough for you to understand the concept. You will say, yeah, he is a good trainer. The other one will say, there are not too many examples he gives. So he is average. So different raters may, in the holistic rubric, this is disadvantage when we evaluate the child on a number of components and assess them as a whole. Next one is purpose of rubric is, as you know, I have given to you, is assessment of a student's performance or work on different components, on different levels. So then now the question is, the choice of rubric will depend upon the nature of assignment you give. Let us say, for example, you give in social studies, give a project, group project to the students, create the force you have seen in the last 5 years or in the past, you say. They may create out of their own imagination, visualizing what I saw over there and putting up the thermocol sheets, beautifying them with the plants, colors, and so on and so forth. Then you have to have whether it will be holistic or will be analytic. That depends upon the nature of this assignment you give. So if you want student feedback, detailed feedback, then you go for analytic approach. That is analytic rubric. But if you want them to be assessed as a whole, then you go for holistic. Just looking at this, beautification is there, plants are there. Just now you might be observing or seeing that particular show which is called this cooking ka kaun sa aata hai? Master Chef or something like that. It's coming at 9 o'clock. How those three judges
Master
are.
Chef Kitchen.
What is that?
Master Chef Kitchen, sir.
Master Chef Kitchen. In those three judges are there. Right? And those three judges, some of them, they look, yesterday they were looking at the bread. Some was looking at the texture. Some was looking at the taste. Some was looking at the presentation, depending upon what. And then holistically, they said, ki this is fine. Two members went out of that room on the basis of holistic rubric, because each of the judge has got his own criteria to decide. Got my point? Next one is benefits. I have given you explanation earlier also, but just quick revision is that it helps clarify vague and fuzzy goals. There will not be vague goals or fuzzy goals. There will be exact clarification as to what we are going to observe. Then help students. What do you understand or what they understand up to from your expectation? What do you expect and how much they understand your expectations? They help a student in self-improvement. After the task is over, you give them the evaluation sheet with your comments. They see over there and they can improve like that and inspire better student performance. They can inspire the students to perform better than the best. We keep on improving. On daily basis, we keep on improving. Like Dr. Nivedita Matkikar, myself, I am in 62 and she is senior to me. And we both are attending the webinars given by other trainers. And we are conducting webinars on our own also. So we people are learning also and then inspiring us to perform a little bit better. The next one is then making score more accurate, unbiased and consistent, because the scale is 5-point scale. Average case, we keep average at the center, below average, poor. So we start from poor, below average, average, then average se upar, above average, and last one is, or above average ki jagah good, and the last one is best, excellent, or something like that, whatsoever you see. Now we keep the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keeping on putting up the points. At the end of the evaluation, we sum them up and come to the conclusion that this is the holistic. If this is done as a holistic rubric, what score the child will help. And then we put it across to the child so he can improve. Reduce arguments with the students. Your pronunciation was not correct and that is why you have been given below average. Try to improve upon that. And if there is an argument, you can just look at those things and then in front of the, say for example, the parent comes to you. My child performs very good poem. He recites very nicely back at home. Fine. Call both of them. Third, independent judge. and now you recite. So this argument will be reduced. Next one is improve feedback to the faculty and staff, to your own colleagues in the same subject. How you can improve your evaluation using rubrics. Now, why use? I have given to you all these things for teachers and for students also. Characteristics I will put up well defined. They give a clear explanation of what is expected level of performance for each criteria. Just now, after one more slide, I'll give you an example, giving you the format example also. And in your mail tomorrow morning, you will get all the formats, supporting material for the different subjects from different websites compiled into one paper, and you can utilize. Say, for example, you are teaching English in class 9. Click on that and you will reach the format for the evaluation class 9 English rubric. You will reach it. So they are well defined. So avoid general evaluative words. Just now I have given you and now I am defining those things. Poor, excellent, no, don't use. A specific term, a specific vocabulary. So contextual specific is context specific, means what exactly you are going to observe and what you expect for a given performance. Their presentation, their, like for example, projects I have discussed with you, what should be there? Coloring of the forts. Generally, they are in red stone. So whether they have been put in red stone. Biology project. Use beans, pulses, and natural eating edibles to put up a digestive system of human being. So kidney beans for kidney and so on. So that depends upon what it is. It has to be specificity as far as the context is concerned. Then they are finite. It is not very vague. Better than the last performance. This is no observation. Because last one, again, you have to refer to the last sheet. So it is to be done in the specific terms. I will give you example, don't worry. Just now after one more slide, the next slide is that only. Now, finite and exerted, too many scoring levels. If I give 1 to 10 scoring levels, then it will be confusing for you people also to do the scoring, as well as for the students also to understand exactly what is required. What is the difference between score 5 and 6? So certainly it will be confusing to you also. Put up minimum, maximum 5, minimum 3. That's all. 3 means below average, average, above average. That's good. 5, I have just now given to you. Poor, below average, average, more than average, and excellent, or best, or whatsoever the last word you can use. They are ordered in the learning progression. The last time I got 3 marks on recitation, which means my performance was average. I will see the criteria. Oh, pronunciation requires improvement. If I improve pronunciation, my score will improve. So learning progression it helps. And then they are coherent. The good rubric is they are coherent with the core theme. Basic theme is I have to check the presentation or recitation by a student of the poem in the class, 5 minutes or 3 minutes. 40 students are there, so you can go for 1.5 minutes or in 2 different classes, so on and so forth. Now see the analytic or descriptive rubric. This is the basic format. Task description is over here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is assessment criteria. Below average, number 1, level 1. Poor. We don't say poor. And then when it goes for the comment area, then over there you can write needs improvement in such and such, because this is descriptive one. Analytic means it have different components. I will give you these formats in the mail. The second type, this is holistic. Just we observe each and everything and we put up overall description of level 1 is his pronunciation was not correct, his gestures were out of way, the gestures were not in we say in tune with the presentation. What he was saying, twinkle twinkle little star, so he was saying twinkle twinkle little star, or better he say twinkle twinkle little star. So what exactly criteria you have put, that depends upon that. And that is why the holistic rubrics should generally be avoided. If it is up to clear up to this point, then you just tell me yes and we put up another one.
Yes, sir.
All right. This because stages in creative, I'll give you now. Let us say construct a model of digestive system using clay and household items. Use original material, not a store-bought model to construct the system. Right? Now see, there are 4 levels. First, and what are the criteria you have chosen is? First is material, second is component, third is labels, and fourth is originality. Now, for the material, if all material resemble the organ and the system or the system, even without labels, they can be easily identified. So this is the criteria. If it is met, you see, this is a sort of holistic one. All material use. Say everything is right, but sensory organs you are putting. How can you use, this is digestive system about, how can you represent that food pipe? If anybody can tell me just an example, I have a sip of water, not water of sip. If anybody can just unmute yourself and let me know. See, I don't know because I generally don't take the canned juices, but the straws that are used for drinking or having your what you call canned drinks, the straws can be utilized for making. They can be bent easily and they can be joined easily. Then this is given 20 points. That is excellent. Now good. Material resemble organ or system, but not obvious without labels. So in place of kidney beans, you have put a sort of figure drawn on the paper, cut properly and stuck on the project. So they resemble, but they are not obvious without labeling. Sometimes this is just rough example. I'm giving you very raw example because I don't know much about these things. But material resemble. So you can give them up to this point, you can give them 15 points. Now the labeling is also required. Whatsoever the material you have used, they do not resemble the organ or the system. Similar material is used for different organs, or similar colors are used for different parts. So making it hard to distinguish between two different parts of the digestive system. But still labeling is required, and labeling, if it is done, then you give them fair 10 points. Neither the drawing is resembling, nor the labeling is there, and similar material is used for different organs or the systems or the parts of the system, then you can put poor 5 points. And similarly, all the criteria, because you will be getting this presentation in the mail. So we move. Next one is me on the map. Locate yourself on the map. Say, for example, Mr. Clarence is sitting at Agra. Ask your children, go into the class, ask your children, have a map of Agra, locate yourself, specify where you exactly are sitting now. 6 criteria are there. This is analytic one. This is first one. Earlier one was holistic. All material is same, all material is colored, all material is labeled, so on and so forth. In this one, you can see this is analytic rubric. Why? Because this is giving you 6 criteria. Me, my city, then broad, my state, then my country, then my continent, and then in world. So what you expect is different colors for different parts or areas. Then area details. So if the child didn't add any detail, then it is poor 1 point. But if I have, as a student, I am analyzing my performance, I have detailed each and everything well written. Put a red color, and then the landmark is in red color itself, he writes world. The second one in blue color, marking the continent. And then in the landmark, in the blue color, he himself writes Asia. Then the third part is he draws a pink line across the state, means around the state. And in the pink color, the landmark says Uttar Pradesh. So on and so forth. In the fourth color, he will mention the city, Agra. And in city, which place exactly is dark, black, I am here. So if these all 6 criteria are met, then we say this is an excellent presentation by the child. He has exactly located where he is on this globe. Now, area detail, then color and label. I told you different colors just now. I have given you example using different colors. So you can use different colors, and the child can label them in all the different colors and label them all, putting the landmark. So this is the right way of doing. And I put excellent 4 points. Neatness. There is no overwriting. No line is overlapping with each other. No color is overlapping with each other. Mostly, no color is overlapping. There are perfect labels in capital letters. And so punctuations are required, full stop is required, each and everything is mentioned very clearly. So this is analytic rubric. Number line, I have put it over there. Here is 6 criteria. Direction, left to right, which means west to east. Neatness, computation, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is computation is correct. Then number line is straight, neat, labeling is correct, number placement is correct, and then explanation also are there. Putting an arrow, this is 3.5. Just say, for example, on the number line, you ask the children to specifically mark 2.5 minus 3.75, and they put different use different colors to particularly point that particular point. In pink, this is 3.75. Red, this is 2.5, and so on and so forth. So when the teacher, you see, who needs the tough task? Any one of you who needs the tough task, just write I need in the chat box. Nobody will write. So it is better that the children are also given a training as to put up their presentation to the easiest, well explained, so that you can explain to them. You see, the evaluators in the board examinations, they are getting money for correction work. If they lose money by wasting, they don't want to waste time putting all their efforts on one particular answer sheet. So if they read it, if they can understand and then read it very fast and give them marks immediately. So get the concept? Yes, he has got the definition. What is osmosis? Osmosis definition is there, example is there, diagram is there, labeling is there. Full marks, and then continue. The next and the last one is using verbs in the sentences. How do you score on that? The excellent 3 points will be means the verb correctly matches the action being performed in the picture. You give them a image. Somebody is cycling, somebody is reading, somebody is in the boat, that is boating, and so on. And then you write what Ram is doing, what Sam is doing. He sees, and labeling is also there on the image. Ram is cycling. Madan is boating. Mohit is reading. And so on and so forth. You can put up all the different things, different criteria for particular evaluation, and the verb does not match the action being performed in the picture, then you say not 0 but needs improvement. You will write need improvement, but the point given will be 1. Similarly for grammar and mechanics. So over here my presentation is over, and now I will stop sharing. I may ask you people to unmute yourself and let me know if you understood the concept. All the formats will be sent to you. This recording will also be sent to you. If anybody needs any help so far in today's presentation, you just let me know about that. Got the concept? Everybody got the concept. Dr. Sharma, welcome. I don't know how long you have been in the webinar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we call it a day. And by tomorrow, 12 o'clock, I will say 12 o'clock because if I do this task in the morning, my next webinar is on anecdotal records. Some of you people only told me what are the anecdotal records, how they should be maintained, how they should be kept, what should be written on those, and how they should be managed and organized. What are the different formats for them? What are the different ways of writing? Way is only one, but how do you observe them? That is most important. If this is clear to everybody, Dr. Nivedita would like to say something.
No, I thought you are ending it, so I said I will say thank you.
Come up, ma'am, come up. Just only for thank you. No, we need your blessings. Rather more than thank you, we need your blessings. Carry on, Mr.
Sure,
Sharma.
sure,
It was
sure.
good. Do much better than this now. Next time.
Oh. Yes,
All
we
right,
will have
ladies
to
and gentlemen, thank you
go
very much. If nobody has to
sure.
say anything, I will share it by tomorrow, 12 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
No, in the afternoon, in the noon, daytime.
Okay.
All
So
right. Then.
tomorrow session is at 12 o'clock.
No, there is no session tomorrow. My next
Then
session
what?
is on 5th of April on anecdotal records. I will give you the link
Okay, sir.
Just now, if you want to join, you join the link and then automatically you will be given the instructions further. Clear to
Right, sir.
everybody?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Kamaldeep is very, very
Thank you, sir.
active in
That was
writing the
very
comment.
clear.
Tuck, 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 tuck. Immediately she writes a lot of the
Excuse me,
things.
sir.
Yes, Vinitaji.
Sir, is there any module you have on holistic progress report?
Madam,
Now CBSE.
CBSE has got a definitive this thing format. You go on their
Yes.
site, find out,
Hmm.
and then you see you have to basically modify it, because each
All right.
of the criteria depends upon the head of the department, the subject teacher, head of the department. If they agree, then put up the changes to the principal, and if he or she agrees, then only that designing of the report card takes place. Generally, most of them, they don't use the exact format provided by the CBSE. They keep
Yes.
changing in them.
Yes,
So
sir.
that
That's why it's a bit confusing.
no, don't
So
confuse.
does it mean that we
No,
have to formulate it according to our school's requirement?
Yes, you can change according to your
Want,
school's
I think
environment.
we can share some sample report cards with you, which we use in the school. So if we can share those, I think you can take a clue from that and decide.
That will
What
be
you
rather
That
better.
would be good, ma'am, if you can share something.
I will. I'll share.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I will also share, I will request each and everybody present over here to share their school progress report, take a snap and give that as a WhatsApp message,
Yes.
the photograph image. Then we note them
Yes.
from there and then put it across designing. With the computer teacher, you can design in the Excel sheet and then
Yes.
get it. Okay, Vinita ji.
So similarly, sir, one more matter which I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Is there do you have any format or any idea about self evaluation by teachers?
Yeah, I have got.
Sir, could you
Nivedita
share
ma'am,
something?
shall I share it? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, even I'll share that also.
Sure,
We
ma'am.
will
Thank you
share.
so
Yeah,
much.
both of us will share
Yeah,
in the
sure.
group.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
In this group itself,
Thank you
not
so much.
everywhere. Only in this group.
Yeah.
And probably I will try to send it across through mail.
Sure,
Yes.
okay, sir.
Okay.
That would be good.
Right.
Fine.
And Nivedita, ma'am, how will you share it with me then? Do you know? You
I'll
don't.
send it to Mr. Ajay Sharma.
Sure.
He can share both together.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you
That
so much.
will, so in one mail you can get all the
That is
formats.
right.
Okay.
All the images
Yeah,
will be
thank
there. You can just take an idea.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
All right,
you.
ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, then we call it a day. Thank you very much. Have a nice dinner and nice sleep.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night, sir. Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.